Good afternoon. It's Thursday. It's the 27th of August, 2020. Unemployment numbers came out this morning at 1 million, not including the 608,000 people that have filed for the PUA, the Pandemic Unemployment Assurance. Those are gig workers, self-employed, that aren't part of the 1 million unemployment that was released today. So when you add it all together, it is 1.6 million more lives altered by unemployment. People going jobless. GOP set to propose a smaller bill, stimulus bill. It does not include $1,200 stimulus package. It does include extra in unemployment. It includes some money for schools, and it includes some money for testing. It does not include any more bailouts for big companies. It does have a provision for smaller companies. It has no money for cities and states. Cities and states are really hurting. MTA in New York having a lot of trouble. MTA has to reduce capacity by 40%. They have to raise their fares. They have to raise tolls. It is not just the subways and buses. It affects commuter rails. It affects all the tolls, the Triborough area into New Jersey. It affects everything, and they're having a really tough time. Ridership is down 90%. 90%. Now they add the sterilization and the cleaning every night. They shut down. It is a huge problem. They say they need $12 billion and they need it now. Service is going to be cut drastically, 20-minute intervals waiting for a train. That means a lot more people on the trains. They are in dire need, and it's not just New York. It's every city across the country. We have fires burning in California. We have Hurricane Laura that just pelted Louisiana and Texas. 20 inches of rain, 15-foot storm surge. Even these states, FEMA, they just used FEMA's money for unemployment. And now look at the devastation that they're going to have. I mean, I don't know where they think this funding is coming from, but you can't take from FEMA to pay for unemployment. I mean, the need is great everywhere. And only the federal government can print some more money. And, this debt, the sovereign debt is a problem. I get it. But these problems are just exponentially growing to every American. Now, is it the government's, responsibility to bail everybody out? I mean, if they were overloaded in debt and they had no savings, we don't make anything here. We don't have good jobs here for people. They can't save anything. They're living on the edge as it is. Precipitously. It's just such a nightmare. America's not supposed to be like this. It's not just our GDP, it's everybody's GDP. South Africa's GDP, it will take at least 5 years. 5 years to recover. They're getting hit really hard. And it's not just South Africa, and it's not just the United States. It's the Netherlands, it's the UK, it's Spain, it's Italy, it's Germany, it's France, it's Australia, it's Canada, and the list goes on and on and on. Look at these countries that are hit with tourism. I don't know, with the skinny bill that the Republicans are trying to pass, there's no bailouts for airports. What's going to happen come October 1st? October 1st, American Airlines slated to lay off 19,000 additional staff. All those people furloughed are going to be permanently let go. What about all these planes? Boeing is down. No one's ordering new planes. There's a trickle-down effect here. But once October 1st comes, and that's not saying if the states don't get funding either, teachers, loads of teachers, music, gym, art, gone. No more drama club, no more sculpture or painting or art. I mean, a lot of kids feel safe in those classrooms, especially in high school. It's their safe haven. That's where they go when they have a free period. That's when they go eat their lunch. They go to the art room. They feel creative there. They feel like they can be themselves. They feel like people don't judge them in those classes. You take those classes away, and where do these kids feel safe? Where is the safe haven? When you're not that math whiz, where do you go? Art. You go to the art room. That's where kids feel safe. Not all of them, but that's where many of them feel safe. It's going to have a devastating impact on our youth. You take away music in elementary school. That's where so many begin their musical ability, right? They learn piano there. They learn guitar, drums, saxophone, clarinet, trumpet, whatever it may be, right? That's where a lot of it begins. Look at this. Janet Yellen. Millions of Americans will suffer. She warns of devastating fiscal cliff if Congress fails to act. The former Federal Reserve Chair and Chief Economic Officer is blaming Congress for their inability to pass additional fiscal support as depressionary unemployment and surging cases of the virus and deaths weigh on the economic recovery. Yet we have a depression-like unemployment. So for the 26th week in a row, that's half the year, unemployment has been over 1 million. And we know the number is much higher than that. So if 27 million are collecting traditional unemployment, there are millions more collecting the PUA, the Pandemic Unemployment Insurance, offered to gig workers. This is a catastrophic problem. While Wall Street is soaring, Main Street is suffering. I don't know, you go to... In Boston, there's a section of town called Methadone Mile. Nobody really hears about it. It's in the south end of the city. And it's where some shelters are for homeless people. But the homeless population has grown exponentially. There's so many more people using heroin now. And they're spilling out outside of their designated mile. They're going into beautiful neighborhoods where people own brownstones and have children. People who own these homes are going out to, human defecation on the street and dodging bodies lying on the curbs. This is what America has come to. Now they're scared. They're scared for their children. They're scared for themselves. Who should come out of their homes and find or someone passed out right next to your steps? It is out of control. But when they can't get their drugs and they have no money, then they start robbing areas like these. And it gets out of control. I mean, look what's happening in Wisconsin, right? Another black man shot by the police 7 times. I mean, 7 times is like excessive. The whole city's uproar. And then you have militia groups. It's like when BLM meets Antifa now. It's a big problem. Some people are trying to protect their land, but what happens when one of them kills 2 people? We ain't seen nothing yet. This is coming to America. All those people who own guns, all those people who are preparing to protect themselves, this is what's coming. I mean, protests are supposed to be peaceful. And the riots, I don't know if these people are paid to cause trouble and burn things and destroy things. And then you have people trying to protect them. I truly don't believe it's the protesters doing this. But this has to stop. But it's only going to get worse. And it's really scary. It's really scary. Everyone's going to lose in this battle. Americans are going to lose. All right, folks. Well, without funding for the states, too, it's going to be pensions. It's going to be teachers. It's going to be tax increases like we've never seen before. The middle class, as we know it, is going to get decimated due to rising costs. It's happening right in front of us. I mean, the price of beef, the price of chicken, the price of eggs, the price of food has gone up over the past 5 months like it never has before. Now it's going to be the price of, your water bill and your garbage pickup and your home taxes. And we're paying their debt that they incurred 20 years ago in some instances. I can go on and on and on. There is so much happening. There is so much to be concerned about, folks. The sovereign debt, the debt that's needed. If we don't do it, we're screwed. If we issue the funding, we're screwed. No matter how this plays out, this is not going to be good. I'd love to know what's going on in your city or your town. Are you seeing the same kind of things? Are you seeing a bump in homelessness? Are you seeing, these catastrophes happening across the country, from raging fires in California to a hurricane down in Texas and Louisiana? What's it like down there? I mean, I was even reading an article that in Louisiana that they had a problem that traditionally they put everybody in a high school gym or some sort of shelter, and they couldn't do that this year because of coronavirus. They couldn't have massive amounts of people in one place. So now they're having hotel rooms. I think it was 200 rooms, individuals, single people, one per room. That's awful expensive for a city and town, and it's only 200 people. What about the other 20,000? Where'd they go? A lot of them didn't even have their own private cars. They had to get on a bus. They had to bus them out of there. The country's in really bad shape. So if you think the country's in good shape, but we're not alone. Every country's in really bad shape. And with expectations that this whole thing is going to go crazy again and the cases is going to, spike, and is yet to be seen. But more and more colleges are closing, and the spread is exasperating itself. Buy yourself some food before the prices go up any higher. The stock market's going crazy. All right, well, on that note, try to find the bright spot. Enjoy your day, and let me know what you see. All right, have a good one. Talk to you soon.